Hey, what's up, everybody? Mr. Dan here, back again in the car. I haven't been in this location since I reviewed one of the Hammer collections way back in the early days of my channel. Somewhat early days. But anyway, my son's getting a haircut, so here I am. Going to start off reviewing the Billy Jack series. I have this Shout Select 4-film collection. The first film is called The Born Losers. The next one is called Billy Jack. Then you have Billy Jack, The Trial of Billy Jack, and Billy Jack Goes to Washington. These were directed by, or this one at least, was directed by T.C. Frank, which is another pseudonym for Tom Laughlin, the star of the film. Now, this one is called The Born Losers. So I don't know if and yes, the Billy Jack character is central to the action. But there is also a substantial amount of time spent with other characters in the film. So I don't know if in the future the other films are really going to be more centrally focused on the Billy Jack character. I would suspect that will be the case. And I guess great minds think alike, because as I'm editing this video, my friends the Mad Bloods came out with a video about Billy Jack as part of their Badass Dudes series. They also have a series called Badass Movies. Make sure you check out that playlist and check out the Mad Bloods channel. Actually, I think it was Encyclopedia Joe from the Mad Bloods channel that inspired me to get this collection, because I've heard him mention Billy Jack so many times. Check out that channel. In this film, you have this motorcycle gang kind of ride into town and start trouble and bother people. Of course, they're dressed, some of their clothes are a little goofy. This guy here is wearing these goofy glasses. And the first time you see them, they've got a couple other female members, or hangers on that kind of ride with the men, and they looked a little bit too old to be with these guys. I was like, are you guys taking grandma to the bingo hall? What is going on here? Anyway, they beat up a hapless guy in the street, and the Billy Jack character intervenes and has to pull out a rifle and use it in self-defense, and he gets arrested for it, and the judge is like, we can't have citizens becoming vigilantes. So they give him a choice. You can pay this bond or spend, some time in jail. So he's trying to get the bond money together. Later on, this begins sort of a clash between him and the gang. Later on, they will steal some money from him, and he's having some hard times anyway, because he's playing an ex-Green Beret. He's half native, and he's real good with horses, like breaking wild horses, calming them down and domesticating them, I guess. But that sort of business is drying up, so he likes to spend time alone in the woods, but his sort of line of work is going away. So he's having some problems, and eventually he comes to the aid of a young college-age girl who gets finds herself in the sights of this gang. She has a little scooter she rides around on, and her friends are kind of watching the gang, and they don't really know what they're getting into. They're kind of being a little flirty and waving at him, and everything. So eventually she gets kind of chased, and they convince her to go back to the clubhouse, and they pretty much say, we're going to initiate you into the gang, which of course is through sex. And she tries to escape, and she actually does escape at one point, but she does see that there's some other girls in the house who are some of whom are kind of out of their minds on drugs. And so eventually some charges are brought up against all these guys, and then they try to intimidate the witnesses, and meanwhile they're trying to goad Billy Jack into fighting, and he's trying to resist. The whole time there's I think it's a deputy sheriff played by Jack Starrett. Now, you may know him as Galt from First Blood. He's also the director of Race with the Devil, and he has a role in that film. He's kind of similar to the Galt character in this. He's kind of, he's not as jerky, but he's got that kind of mean streak. He's keeping it in check, though, and a couple times the motorcycle gang kind of humiliates him, and he just takes it. But you get the idea that eventually he's gonna, because the district attorney and everybody, they're like, hey, we can't, if we've got no case, if they convince these girls to drop the charges, and if they intimidate these women into dropping the charges. So eventually you get the idea that he's gonna sort of be on Billy Jack's side and defy orders. But I won't really tell you what happens. The film meanders a bit. The focus is on the one young lady mostly, and then one of the other young ladies, her I can't remember the name of the old school actress that plays her mother, but I guess because she's in the film, I'll put it on the screen, they have to give her a bit. So she goes into histrionics about, we're trying to keep you safe, but they have a bad relationship. And then later in the film, there's another witness who has a clash with her mom, who actually says, I actually, it wasn't rape. I enjoyed it, It's just a little cringy. But what she's trying to do is get back at her parents. So it's like, maybe we could have stuck to one of the witnesses and their relationship with their parents instead of like two, three. There's actually like three, because there's the guy that lets Billy Jack use his land. His daughter, unfortunately, falls victim too. So he's trying to get the main young lady to testify. Anyway, there's some good scenes. I know that he had some martial arts training for these films. I remember seeing a documentary where they interviewed someone who trained him, and I don't know who that is. It'll be interesting to find out. But I think that sort of picks up in the next film. Parts of it are a little bit cringy. The whole native thing, they call them some derogatory names. Interestingly enough, one of the gang members is the all-time 60s and 70s heavy. You know him from such movies as Hard Times. Robert Tessier. He's got hair in this movie, but he's still got that intimidating presence. Pretty big, muscular guy. Now, he was actually native himself, at least part. I know he played. I think he might have been Iroquois, I know he played an Iroquois in several films. So to have him using these racial slurs at Tom Laughlin's character is a little weird. But this, anyway, they're not nice people. I mean, they're bad guys. They're the type of people that would, I'll just say one of the words, they call them Injun constantly, and worse than that. But, it was the time. And, listen, this film is decidedly on the side of the good guys. It's against people that take advantage of women and assault them and everything. But it's sometimes the handling of that is a bit cringy and clumsy. But certainly Tom Laughlin, his heart was in the right place. He's pretty good. He's kind of this quiet, has this kind of quiet cool about him. He doesn't really want to get involved, but he wants to do the right thing. I'm interested to see where it goes next with Billy Jack. So, have you seen The Born Losers? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll check you back next time for another film review. Later.